of their choice and also without leaving their home.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Owens, and my group and I would like to introduce you to Silicon Wedding. Today, we have for you a mobile application. It allows its users to virtually decorate any wedding venue using augmented reality. It was created with the idea that there is no need to have to buy and test wedding decorations just to have to waste your time returning most of them. I planned my own wedding a little over 2 years ago, and I underestimated the amount of time that decorating was going to take. I knew the look that I was going for. I had a Pinterest board full of examples, and I still misjudged how a piece would end up looking in the venue. Our application decreases your amount of guesswork as well as your trips to your local craft store. Here at Silicon Wedding, we know that wedding planners, as well as future newlyweds planning their own wedding, have a lot on their plate and they could always use a simpler and more effective way of creating the perfect wedding venue. Not only will our product give users the ability to virtually decorate their venue, but it'll eliminate the need to hire a wedding decorator altogether. This saves our users money and even enables professional wedding planners to charge more for their services by taking out the middleman. Unlike other augmented reality applications, Silicon Wedding is strictly for wedding venues and creates a sense of community for users within the wedding market. Our key partnership will be with our advertisers. Our vendors that are advertising on our platform, they're going to be important when it comes to funding our application, but they're also going to be helpful for helping our users find any vendors that they need for their wedding. For key activities, in order to give our users the ability to decorate their own wedding, we have to make it look as realistic as possible. Once users download our application, they'll have the ability to view their venue through their camera and begin scrolling through the different types of decorations we have available. Once they find a decoration they like, they'll have the ability to place the item anywhere onto the screen that they want. And then, along with decorations, the users will be able to pick from a list of setup items that are necessary at weddings, like chairs and tables, in order to give them a more accurate representation of what the venue will look like the day of their wedding. Once pleased with the way their venue looks, users will be able to capture a screenshot of the outcome and they'll send us the results for us to post on our website. Our key financial resources come from the monthly subscriptions bought by our users and our advertisers. Our key intellectual resources include our trademark as well as our customer database. Our key human resources include our software engineering and our sales and marketing resources. And then lastly, our key physical resource is the augmented reality software that we use. And now I'll pass it on to Taylor, and she's going to talk to you guys about our customers, cost structure, and revenue streams.
Hi, my name is Taylor Maddox, and I'm the other CIS major in our group. Our app serves three main customer segments. The first segment are the future newlyweds who do not want to hire a wedding decorator, or future newlyweds who want a tool to help them visualize what their wedding is going to look like. Wedding planning is hard and it is difficult for future newlyweds to do it on their own. Our app helps with that. Another customer segment is wedding planners who want to differentiate themselves from their competitors by providing a unique service to their clients. For wedding planners, it can be hard for them to get their clients to see their vision. Our last customer segment is our advertisers who want to advertise on our product to reach their target market. Our advertisers are going to be limited to wedding vendors so that it ensures that our customers are going to see the advertisements that are relevant to them and that our advertisers reach our customers that may be interested in their product. Next, we're going to discuss our customer relationships. Our customers can be broken into short-term relationships and long-term relationships. Our short-term customers are going to be our future newlyweds that have an average engagement lasting around 14 months. Our long-term customers are going to be the wedding planners and the advertisers. For wedding planners, our app is a service that they can use for years and it will never run out of usefulness for them. They can also use our app with every client they have. For our advertisers, they can also use our app for years and they will always be able to reach their target market. As for our distribution channels, our app will be able to be downloaded on the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, as well as our own website. For our cost structure, I estimate that our total expenses are going to be around $1,290, with $600 of that going towards advertising. $500 of that advertising budget would go towards Google advertising, and the remainder would go to promoted pins on Pinterest because they have a large customer base of future newlyweds that may be interested in our product. For dues, we will have $125 in expenses. This includes our cost of having our app on the Google Play Store and on the Google App Store, on the App Store. Google Play Store has a one-time fee of $25 and the Apple App Store has a cost of $100 per year. For licenses, we will have a one-time fee of $300 for a trademark. For software, I have expenses of $15, which is a one-time fee for Route 53. For subscriptions, we will have $240 in expenses, which includes the yearly subscription cost for the following services: S3, which is a $5 a month subscription cost, Amplify, which is $10 a month, and Lightsail, which is $5 a month. And then for web hosting, we have expenses of $10 for our domain name. For our revenue streams, it can be broken down into revenue from our subscription fee and revenue from our advertising packages. Our subscription fee is $199 per month after a 24-hour free trial. We have two advertising packages. We have a package for $39.99 per month per advertisement, which would be for ads on our website. Then we have another package for $69.99 per month per ad, which includes advertisements on our website and advertisements through our emails to our registered users. I predicted that we would have about $1,080 in revenue for our subscription, which would be about 60 members that have the app for the entire 9 months that our app is launched, assuming we launch the app in May. For advertising revenue, I predicted that we would have $990 in revenue, which would be one advertiser on each plan for the 9 months our app is live in 2021. And then I calculated the revenue to be at our break-even point, but with our revenue model, it's hard to get like an actual break-even amount. So we ended up with a net income of $40. So now I will pass it over to Tristan to talk about our cloud stand-up.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tristan Jensen. I am one of the 3 people you're going to be hearing from today on the IT team. As you can see by the slide, we're definitely powering ourselves through AWS, mostly because it is very expandable and versatile. In terms of our mobile app development, we're using AWS Amplify, which allows us to connect our backend for mobile app development and allows us to really connect everything else that we use with AWS. On top of that, we use Amplify in conjunction with AWS Cognito, which allows us to create a user sign-in authentication and troubleshooting platform without us having to implement third-party side softwares outside of AWS's cloud systems. And on top of that, we're also using AWS S3, which connects off to the application for us to store the 3D rendered objects that will be discussed later in the presentation. In terms of web hosting, we are using AWS Lightsail. We originally started with an EC2 instance, but we found that EC2 was having a lot of issues in terms of trying to set everything up properly. And so we found that Lightsail was definitely an easier option in terms of adding a flat rate and pre-packaged software right out of the box. With Lightsail, we're in conjunction with WordPress. WordPress is a very versatile web hosting site that allows us to create a website that looks beautiful as well as very functional. And because it's also conjoined with Lightsail, there's a lot of versatile ways that we can combine WordPress with a lot of our already existing AWS applications in use. And finally, we have AWS Route 53, which allows us to have our domain name registered and easily connect with everything else within the AWS cloud. And I'm going to pass it over to Ben for our tech needs.
Sorry about that. I'm having some internet problems. But hi, my name is Benjamin Hang. I'll be covering the backend services and the tech needs. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. For the backend, our product has a variety of different services, from cloud services to application running in the background, to ensure our final product has a wide variety of uses and functionality. As stated in the previous slide, the team has heavily invested in AWS Atmosphere, using Lightsail as a server, Route 53 to manage our traffic, S3 to maintain our images and other files, Amplify to AWS Amplify is the platform that the CS team is using for our mobile application development, which is heavily versatile in using many different options and features for implementing in an app, which we're going to use in our AR. It is also offered good with it's also able to integrate with other AWS services. Harris will also it's also easy
Well, I think we lost Ben. I think essentially what he was going to say is he was going to talk about the technical needs as it pertains to the versions of iOS and Android that are required to run the application. As far as that goes, the user needs a iPhone that is running iOS 11 plus, and it has a A9 chip. And then if you're using Android,
I can take over.
Okay, he's back.
Okay, so for the phones, for our mobile phones, we'll need a minimum of for an iOS device, we need an A9 chip running with iOS 11 or higher. For Androids, we need to run Snapdragon 810 with the Android 7 or higher. We plan on combining WordPress login with AWS Cognito, which allows single sign-in to our WordPress, which allows us to use AWS Cognito's accounts credentials. When we need to, we also found out that WordPress has that we can use as well. I'll pass it on to Catherine, who's also the IT team. She'll cover.
I'm going to cover the backup plan. Thank you, Ben. I'm Catherine Bell. I'm the third and final IT member. So as the application and its data is important to keep safe and be accessible to, keeping the project and our data backed up is very important to us. And there are three main ways we do this. These are through AWS, GitHub, and our own physical backups. Firstly, our use of AWS for backing up a decent portion of our data. AWS actually provides automatic backups, and we use this to our advantage alongside a mirror copy of the instance running the web server, so that any normal data loss is easily recoverable. This includes constant image saves in case every instance goes down or is reset somehow. GitHub is used for the project code for both sharing within the team, but also for subsequently backing up that code, while also keeping the in-progress code on his own computer. The team's computer science member, Harris, has been updating the GitHub repository anytime a change to the code is made. The IT team has also been saving that code while still keeping the older versions for any reason, and saving that on separate storage devices as to not rely solely on the cloud, nor just one team member. And from here, I'll hand it off to Harris to finish up the presentation.
Awesome. My name is Harris Butler. I am the only CS major on the team, and I will be talking about the design, implementation, and then giving you guys a demonstration. So to begin, I'll be going over some of the product requirements. And like Alex mentioned, we are building an augmented reality application that allows users to visualize wedding decorations. The user needs to be able to place true to scale 3D decorations into their environment. And then the user interface needs to be clear, easy to use. This means easy to use sign up and sign in functionality, as well as easy navigation, and then easy to use AR platform. And then finally, as a team, we decided it needed to be cross-platform, meaning that it needed to run on both iOS and Android. Now we're going to go through the system design. So all the client-side user interface was built using React Native. The reason we chose React Native was because it fit that cross-platform mold. React Native can run on both iOS and Android. For the augmented reality functionality, we went with Vero. Vero is a AR platform, VR and AR platform that is built off of React Native and integrates with React Native. Vero specifically works with ARCore and ARKit, Google and Apple's augmented reality engines. And then finally, we'll be using Amplify for all of our backend configuration, and then as well as our sign up, sign in, and user authentication. So now we're going to go through some development challenges. As you may or may not remember, we decided to move away from virtual reality and move to augmented reality. This posed a few problems, but we felt as a team that augmented reality would provide a much better user experience and allow for a better product. That being said, we did have to kind of quickly come up with a plan. The actual development of the project started in the middle of March rather than at the beginning of the semester. Going forward, some testing challenges that we faced. The testing emulators that we were using and what I'll present with had some compatibility issues with the AR platform. So the project user interface and AWS functionality will be presented in one emulator, and then the augmented reality functionality is presented on another one. It's just unfortunate the AR doesn't work on one and AWS doesn't work on the other. And so to give you guys a full spectrum view of the project, it'll be on two separate ones. And then finally, our 3D objects. Finding high quality 3D objects is quite a challenge. High quality 3D objects that are free and are not expensive. Luckily, there is quite a large open source community that we use to provide all of our 3D objects. And now I'm going to give a product demonstration. So first we'll start off with the user interface plus the sign in and sign up process with AWS. So as the user is presented with the sign in, sign up screen, at this point the user can, if they don't have an account, they can sign up. The user inputs their username, desired password, and then they can input their email. In this case, I'm using my personal email, but anyway, once the user inputs their email and password, they are taken to the two-factor authentication portion of it. Essentially, they are sent a code into their email, and they have to input the code to get to the next process. There's also a fake phone number. Anyway. So they sign up. Once they sign up, it's taken to the confirm screen. At that point, they have to input their code, which shows up in their email. Copy and paste it, and then go in. From there, the user is taken to the sign in and sign up page. At this point, they can input their username and their password. And I actually put the wrong password in here, but it does a good job in showing that the authentication actually works. So yeah, and once they sign in, it'll be taken to the user interface. Okay, so once it's taken to the user interface, you're presented with the list of decorations. So in this case, this is a list of chairs. The user can scroll through, look at the different chairs that we offer. They can click on the hamburger menu and look at different other decorations. In this case, flower bouquets and stuff, tables, and they can choose which one they want. They can, this is a functionality that we plan on adding later, which is being able to pay for their items. So they can click the Learn More tab, get a price of kind of what each thing costs, and then ultimately log out. Okay, now for the AR stuff. So once the same user interface, nothing changes, they can scroll through, look at kind of what decoration they want, and they can choose a decoration. Once they view an AR, the AR system scans and it renders the object in space. They can place it in space and look at it. Whatever they place it in the space, it anchors to whatever point they choose. They can put it in different spots. They can anchor it and look at it at different angles, allowing for kind of get a really good idea of what the product looks like in space. And then once they've decided they don't like it or something, they can go back and choose a different option. Scroll through, pick another one, in this case, the modern chair, it'll render in space. they can place it, it'll anchor, allow them to look around, it'll stay in the same spot, and they can, yeah, kind of get a good idea of what the product's gonna look like. And yeah, then they'll be taken back to the main screen. And that is it. Any questions?
I have a question. Hold on. Let me look at my notes here. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm having trouble looking through my notes. I have terrible handwriting. Okay, so are you offering advertising to wedding vendors?
Alex.
I'll take this one. Yeah, we're only offering our advertising to wedding vendors, and that might, decrease some advertising that we could potentially make, but we wanted to make the advertising that we put on our website, we wanted to make it relevant. And down the line, we also wanted to have actual decorations for sale that you can buy through our app. And that would be possible through kind of the vendors that we have that relationship with through advertising. So that's why we chose to do that.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thanks.
I had a question for Harris. What was some of the issues you found implementing the augmented reality technology?
Yeah, so the when we initially started this process, we thought we were gonna. We initially decided to go with AWS's AR technology, which is Sumerian. Unfortunately, we wanted this to be cross-platform, and Sumerian requires a natively built application, and we would have to use either ARCore and ARKit. And with the time constraints that we had, we felt that we would produce a better product if we went with a React Native and one code base. As far as the AR stuff goes, implementing it, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. I mean, it was definitely a challenge. I've never used AR stuff before, but yeah, definitely the biggest issue was switching from Sumerian to Vero for sure.
Okay, that makes sense. The demo is still really impressive anyways, so.
Thank you.
I have a question for Taylor. You mentioned earlier that you have like a 24-hour free trial window. I was just wondering the thought behind that, of why it was only 24 hours, or just wondered about that.
Yeah, so we decided to go with 24 hours versus something like a week, just because of how simple the app is. And it's just, they can get what they need to see within the 24 hours. And we have such a low cost anyway, so it's not going to be like a real barrier of them being like, oh, I'm going to use this all the time. It's just more so they can see what it features and what it looks like, and then they pay that $199 per month.
Makes sense. Thank you.
So going back to the advertisements, are you just planning to put advertisers' products, or are you going to run banners as well, or what are you planning for that?
So to start off, we're thinking just pictures. And then as we kind of implement what we want, kind of how, they can buy on the app, then they can put their products in the actual mobile application. So, they'll have their banner on the website and send in an email, but they'll have their products on the application.